after 3 weeks, 2 weeks, I was ready to come back. My brother said, could you live out here? I said, nah. He says, so what if you had like a whole lot of money, you were rich? I said, nah. I said, I would live in the Philippines still and I would come visit.
So that's a great observation, and it's not new. You've been doing, because you lived your life there. You've been here almost 10 years in October, November, whatever you said. What's that feeling you have? What's the difference between these two places?
Back home and here?
Yeah.
To me, it's like...
This is Dan of Vagabond Awake, and today we're lucky to have Marion here. All of the expats here call you the mayor.
They call me the mayor, and I kind of got that name because being here like about 10 years, I engage myself in the community.
Yeah.
And so I get to know everybody, and every time a new expat arrives, somehow I kind of gravitate toward them and I kind of introduce them to our beautiful city here. So it kind of caught on. Even though we have a great mayor here, Mayor Roney, so I'm the second mayor. Hats off to Mayor Roney. Even back home in New Jersey, they called me that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So this is a personality.
Yeah, it's a personality.
You're like a connector. You connect
I'm the
people.
connector. Yeah, I like doing that. I love seeing people succeed. So anything I can kind of do, I do it.
We love connectors. That makes the world go around.
Sure does.
So where are we sitting right now, and where in the world are you from?
I am from New Jersey. I grew up in Newark, New Jersey, and did my schooling at Fordham University in Manhattan at the Art Center. Worked in the fashion industry in New York for all of the big fashion guys like Ralph Lauren, Armani, 𝗖𝗍, and all of the guys, So I kind of dress people, make them look good. And that's what I did for the last 20 years. I was just dressing people who came to our establishment, and if they needed a new wardrobe, a new look, explore their mind, and then like when they left with bags.
Well, that explains this outfit. Beautiful.
I wanted to come a little fancy for the occasion,
You've been here 10 years.
I've been here 10 years. Once the plane landed at Roy City Airport, it was just, you felt it. You felt it, and it felt so good. You had the little band in there playing their little music and welcome you it was great. And then I couldn't wait to see the beach. I kept asking my future wife, where's the beach? Where's the beach? And then she said, just peek out and you'll see it. Yeah. And then my heart just went like this, because I'm a kid who grew up in the city. As a kid, we didn't have no beaches or anything like that, so I always wanted to, if I ever retired or I wanted to live near the beach. And every morning I wake up, it's just like my first day here.
So you arrive, you already know your future wife. How did that happen?
Oh, that was crazy. 2014, it was a bad winter, and I said, next year I'm going to retire, and I'm getting out of here. I want to go someplace tropical all year. And it wasn't like going to Florida or something like that in the States. I wanted out. So I happened to just talk to her, introduction, somebody on Facebook, and we were just goofing around. And she lived in a city called Panatone, about maybe a half an hour from here. Rice fields and things like that. Beautiful. And so she said, why don't you just come down here and we get married? And I said, okay. And just like that, and because I'm very spontaneous, and it was like, I don't have nothing here back in Jersey. I'm done. My kids are grown with their lives all over the country, and so I can go. Just like that, 8 months later, I was on the plane. So when I met my wife, it was like I actually knew her, because we were like doing a lot of face chat. I came here, and then we got married 2 months later. And she's the best wife a man can have. Yeah, she stands by me 110%. Hey, Shirley. That's great, man.
How long were you thinking about moving overseas before you pulled trigger, or was it just a conversation with her that made all that happen?
There was a conversation, but the mindset was like for years. Even when I was a little boy, you're a kid, you had basketball pictures all over your wall.
Yeah.
Tape from the magazines.
Yeah. And
in between it, I had a big photo of Tahiti. And I was like, man, I would love to go to that place one day. I never did make it to Tahiti, but I made it here.
Right.
So I always had that mindset that I wanted to live somewhere, just how great it would be to wake up and hear the waves, and walk the beach.
Yeah.
And here I am.
Yeah, and palm trees and all.
Palm trees and all.
You talked to a lot of expats.
Yeah.
What's the range of cost of living here? Maybe.
I'm like crazy fortunate. I've been like super blessed down here.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't use mine I live in a 2-bedroom native house.
Right.
Close to the beach.
Yeah.
And it costs me like $5,000 a month.
$5,000 a month for your rent.
Yeah.
And you've been there for a while, I bet.
Yeah, and it's like that's like $85 US a month.
Right.
You can't get a broom closet in the United States for $85. And I live right there, beautiful native house, lots of artwork in there and everything else. But the range would be like $16,000 a month, $13,000 a month.
Yeah. Is that rent?
That's rent.
Okay.
That's rent. If you want to build a house and it's anywhere like a decent house, nice house, say like in San Antonio Village.
Okay.
You get the land and you build the house. You can get a nice house for like maybe 2.5 million pesos.
Okay.
A decent house. Then if you want to upgrade, you just keep upgrading.
Right.
And so, but the average house is about 5 million in a resident like San Antonio.
Yeah.
But rentals are like you were at Harry's yesterday.
Yeah.
And so it varies.
Yeah.
His new tenant is going to be maybe paying like 24,000 pesos.
Oh, the one who's renting the house.
Yeah.
So the house on Harry's land, which is on the beach.
Yeah.
24,000-ish.
You're right on the beach. You walk out and you're on sand.
Yeah.
And the breeze is always there because we're going to start getting more and more expats.
Yeah.
When I came here, you didn't have any.
Yeah, you're probably like one of the first.
Oh, you had like, you can count them on maybe 8 fingers.
Okay.
And when I saw expat, I got excited. You know, I would see somebody like this guy here that we just talked to.
Yeah.
I see him walking and I go up to him, hey man, how you doing?
You're the mayor. You gotta welcome him.
You gotta do that. You know, stop the tricycle here, man. I gotta go. And then you go over and say, how you doing? Where you from? And then you get the ball rolling.
Yeah.
And then I helped the guy, that same guy, I got him an apartment over here. You know, I just joined a group called 𝐂𝐎𝐒. And what we do, we travel to different towns and cities and barangays throughout the province of 𝗓𝐵. You know, I discovered chocolate factories, peanut butter factories. I didn't know we had a zoo and somewhere around here, someplace. And
on this island, or
in this island, you stay connected and you keep moving. You don't know who you're going to meet, and then once you meet them, then they tell you something else, and then you keep rolling.
Yeah, that connection goes both ways.
Yeah,
doesn't it?
it works
when you
good.
connect people, you know both sides of it.
Yeah, you know both sides.
What's in other expenses? Just average expat or a range? If you know.
Electricity, it can be high here. So and of course the weather's hot. So if you put air conditioning in your house, like my air conditioning exceeds my rent, and we had the apartment. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna just keep the air conditioner on, and I left it on all day, and I got the first bill, and my electricity was like 7,000 that month.
Yeah.
But electricity, water's okay. Groceries are like, you go to the wet market, you can get anything.
Yeah.
You know, it like my wife, she's like a gardener, so she grows all kind of things, like all kind of fruits, peppers, tomatoes, you name it. Wow. She got all that stuff. Wow. And then she actually goes out on our block there where we live, and she cleaned up this other area, and she planted things there.
Wow.
So they started growing red peppers, hot peppers, bell peppers, and tomatoes and so forth. Wow. So we tell the community when they walk by, it's like, go help yourself.
Wow.
You know, it's like a free garden. So whatever's there you want to take, just take.
Yeah.
You know, so,
So do you have like a scooter, or do you pay tricycles? How do you get around town?
I pay tricycles.
What's it cost you to get to the public market, which is in the center of the city?
It costs me like, I give them like 35 pesos.
Okay.
But you can give them like 25 pesos.
Yeah.
I always give more. If it's 25, I get 35.
Yeah.
If I go right to SM, it's only like 20 pesos or 25 pesos.
Yeah.
But when I come back, I give them 50.
Okay.
My haircut is like 75 pesos. I give them 200 pesos.
Yeah.
You know, you give them the tip, and and I know these guys out here, they hustle these tracks, man. They're trying to make money to feed their families.
Yeah.
So I always give them extra. It's just so simple living down here. It's so easy.
Do you go home much?
I went home because I had to last year for the first time.
Okay.
And to go seek out some medical stuff for my coverage back home. So my brother flew me out to California. They all lived on the West Coast. So he said, listen, man, tickets in the mail, you're coming out here. So I was supposed to stay 3 weeks. I ended up staying 3 months. But it was nice when I landed. It was like really weird because I wasn't back home in like almost 9 years.
Yeah.
And I'm in this little nice city, and I go to like Corona, California, San Diego, and Pasadena. I'm all over the place. After 3 weeks, 2 weeks, I was ready to come back. My brother said, could you live out here? I said, nah. He says, so what if you had like a whole lot of money, you were rich? I said, nah. I said, I would live in the Philippines still, and I would come visit.
So that's a great observation, and it's not new. You've been doing, because you lived your life there. You've been here almost 10 years in October, November, whatever you said. What's that feeling you have? What's the difference between these two places?
Back home and here?
Yeah.
Oh, to me, it's like, I might have been suffering from a little bit back home, stress. I had something that stress causes, psoriasis, and I went to a doctor, and the first thing she looked at me, she said to me, she said, "What are you so stressed out about?" When I came here, it was just like, it was just lifted. Everything went away. Psoriasis went away. Everything. I mean, it was just like I was a completely different human being. I had nothing to worry about. We have a rule when we're around the guys here and stuff like that. You know, we don't want to talk about politics. We came here for a reason.
Yeah.
You know, to escape all that.
There's an old saying. I think it's a military saying. I don't know actually where it comes from, but we leave politics at the shore when we leave America.
Yeah, I heard that too. Yeah, that's true, man.
Yeah.
And I love my country, America.
Yeah.
And you know, you're just like, what am I going to do today? You know, and I don't have to do nothing but come out here and feel good. It's a very simple life. If I want to go on a little vacation, of course, everybody goes to 𝗂𝐻𝐿 and some other places. You just go.
How would you answer this sentence?
Okay.
Don't come here if you think it's going to be...
I would say, whatever luggage that you had back home, leave it. Whatever baggage you had back home, just leave it. Come here with no expectations, like starting from scratch. And most people have situations.
Yeah, of course.
And just leave it, man.
Do come here if you want...
If you want you to polite. Once you come here, you're going to never want to go back. It's a paradise. You're going to have a certain peace of mind that you never had before. I can guarantee that. Everybody talks about coming, but it's something that just they just used to their environment, I guess, and they don't care how bad it is. They're gonna just stay there, and a lot of them stay there and they suffer.
Yeah.
And I said, just come visit. Just come down and visit.
Come see.
Yeah, come see. You might not want to go back.
Yeah. Why is someone like you and me? Why are we sitting here and they're back home?
The difference is that I'm a person who takes chance. I know at one time I didn't have the money to travel, and I lived in Brooklyn at the time, 1978.
Right.
I'm tired, I got to get out of here. I bought my friend's 10-speed bicycle. I rode that thing to Fort Hamilton. I joined the Air Force part-time. I did that because I wanted to see the world. You have to just go for it. You can't be scared to do nothing. Same people are back home saying they're old, they're my age now, and they're still like, I'm gonna do this. I mean, no, man. You know, you gotta do it if you're gonna do it. Just go for it. You can't be afraid of taking the next step. I was enthusiastic. When I knew I was gonna come here, first thing I did was run out and buy new luggage. I kept it open, and maybe once a week I'll walk by and I'll throw something new in it. And I went on
that.
Until it was time for me to go. There was time for me to go, and then when it was time to go, I zipped it up.
That's real world.
Yeah.
That's real world.
I zipped that suitcase up, man, with the biggest smile on my face, and I was out that door. Oh, man. And
that has to feel real doing it that way.
Yeah, man. Just every day, when I saw that suitcase, I knew I was leaving. I'm like, here's some toothpaste, here's some this, here's some that. Still didn't believe it was happening until I got on that plane at JFK Airport when they took off.
When that plane leaves the ground.
I said, oh, man, I'm going.
Yeah, you're going.
And I don't know when I'm coming back.
When expats end up in 𝗂𝐻𝐿, I have a feeling they're going to run into the mayor. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you very much.
Really appreciate it.
It's been a pleasure.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Grab my free ebook that has all my tips and tricks about retiring overseas for the last 18 years. And also watch my video over here if you'd like to see more of my favorite places to retire in the Philippines.